This video was sponsored by Fadge. If it ain't rich and creamy, it ain't Fadge. Hold on guys, I'm getting a call, 1 second. Hello? Sorry? It's pronounced yeah, not Fadge. I'm terribly sorry. Sorry, what? You're cancelling the sponsorship? Wait. Well guys, it seems we're not sponsored anymore. But anyway, let's just get straight on with the first ever complete Wazzock's guide.
Okay, Billy, I'm gonna play a land now, and now I'll tap the land and summon my goblin creature.
So you want to learn how to play Magic the Gathering, do you? Well, in this video guide, I'll teach you exactly how to do that. We're going to learn the basics to help you play your first game. Very simple, and let's get on with it. Trading card games have been a popular pastime among children and fat sweaty nerds ever since their rise to popularity in the early 90s. The first of these games was Magic the Gathering in 1993. Inspired partly by Dungeons and Dragons, this cheeky looking nerd thought, I can make a load of money selling cardboard, and so then he went on to make a load of money selling cardboard using his secret ingredient, ink. This alchemic transformation from cardboard into craze also turned paper into pay person into handing over that cardboard wrapped in aluminium foil. The game blew up like the Big Bang, but instead of matter clumping together to form the universe, nerds clumped together to form tournaments. These tournaments are still going strong today. Why? Because it's that good. And in recent times, it's found itself becoming more popular with the mainstream, and so now you can be as rugged and handsome as me and still play the game. There are a number of card types in Magic the Gathering, but we're just going to focus on the fundamental cards. Land cards, creature cards, enchantment cards, instant cards, sorcery cards, token cards, and planeswalker cards. Land cards allow you to cast spells. Spells include all the previously mentioned card types, but not tokens, or lands. Creature cards protect, but they also attack. To cast these cards, you'll need to use your land. This one costs 1 mountain, plus 3 of any other land, including mountains. At the crotch of the card, you'll find its abilities, if it has any, and also its power and toughness. So this, I'm not going to say Spicy Boy because everyone says Spicy Boy and I hate when people say Spicy Boy. This fiery lizard can deal 3 damage and can take 3 damage. If 4 damage is dealt to this Spicy Boy, it will not survive, unless you have a trick up your sleeve. Enchantments stay in play as long as they're not destroyed. These cards produce ongoing effects that alter the game to your advantage. Aura enchantments can be attached to specific creatures. Sorcery cards are kind of like enchantments, except they don't stay in play. They have a one-time effect, and once that effect is resolved, they go into a pile known as the graveyard. This is where most of your destroyed cards will go. Instants are kind of like sorceries, but unlike sorceries, you can use them even on your opponent's turn. For your opponent, instants are like sitting on the toilet, squeezing out a third of a poo, only to hear a knock at the door. The toilet door, and you live alone. Oh, please let me finish. Tokens are summoned from other cards. You might not always have the tokens you need, but you can substitute them with a couple of dice to represent their power and toughness. And finally, planeswalkers are unique cards. You can only have 1 in your deck. These cards are based on counters. Basically, you can add and subtract from the card's toughness to give you certain effects, but once the toughness is depleted, it will surely die. And those are the basic and most common card types you need to know in order to play a game of modern Magic the Gathering. Now, let's move on to using these cards in a game. First of all, you're going to need to get some cards. Here's some cards I made earlier, but for you, you might want to get some pre-constructed decks. If you head over this way, there's many tantalising flavours to choose from. If you're feeling aggressive today, might I suggest a red deck? No? Well, how about a blue deck to satisfy the control freak inside? Or perhaps you could try a few and see which one satisfies you the most. Whichever one you pick, do it now because we're about to start a game. So originally me and my cat were going to just talk you through the cards and how to play and everything, but this turned out being very cumbersome and very hard to actually do. So I thought instead we'd use Magic the Gathering Arena, which is free to play and you can download it on your PC or your Mac coming to mobile next year, and we'll use that to talk you through how to play by playing a game. So let's do that now. What's good, gamers? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're playing Magic the Gathering Arena. Game's free to play, download it, enjoy it. I'm going to be using this game to give you a quick rundown, a little quick match. I'll just talk you through it. Okay, we're going to use our Garrick deck. I got this deck physically and I got the code to use the card in the game. Some decks do that. You might want to keep that in mind because it helps practice the deck. Alright, so let's go ahead and use this deck and play a game. So, first of all, we draw 7 cards. Now, you want to make sure you have a good amount of land and some creatures you can cast with it. This is a very good hand because first of all we've got a 1 cost card. We can play it. We've got a healthy amount of land to use to spend these cards, and these cards cost 3 mana each. And this card here has Vigilance, which means it doesn't tap when it attacks. Tapping is when you turn the card to the side, which means it's no longer able to be used for the turn. Usually that happens whenever you attack, but Vigilance means it doesn't, so it can always block the next turn as well. So we're going to keep this hand, but if we was to mulligan, that means you would draw another 7 cards and you'd choose one to get rid of until you go to 6. If you don't like that hand, you go to 5, so on. We're good, we got very lucky here, we got a very good hand, so let's keep these cards and it's our turn.
So remember
Now,
to have fun.
we both have 20 life each. The aim of the game, obviously, reduce your opponent's life total to 0. Now, because it's the first turn, I don't draw a card, but every turn after this, a card is drawn at the start of each turn. So the first thing we should do is play a land. We play the land, that gives us 1 mana, which we can use to cast Almighty Bushwag. He's got Trample, which means that any excess damage which you've dealt to a creature will carry over to your opponent. Now he's only got 1/1, so obviously that's not going to be doing anything, but that's to use if you use his activated ability, which is if we pay 4 mana, which 3 of any colour and 1 forest, as you can see at the bottom. He gets +3/+3 until the end of turn. We're going to cast him now, and after that our turn will end because there's nothing else we can do. You might be thinking, why can't we attack with him? And that's because every time you summon a creature for the first time, it's got something called summoning sickness, which means it can't attack on its first turn because, it's a bit discombobulated from being summoned. There is one exception to this, and that is if it's got an ability called haste, which means it can attack as soon as it comes out. But yeah, we're going to bring out our creature, and it turns to our opponent. Now he casts a creature of haste, you see? That's what I was just talking about. Haste means he can attack straight away. He casts his 1 mountain to play his 1 mountain cost card. If we block with our Bushwag, it will kill both of the creatures. Or we could take the damage. If you've played Hearthstone, which is a much simpler sort of version of Magic the Gathering really, you can attack anything with a card. You can attack a creature, or you can attack your opponent. In Magic the Gathering, you can only attack your opponent, and the cards come in and block and everything. You'll figure it out, it's not complicated. We're going to take 1 damage, because I want to keep my creature out. So no blocks, bam, we're on 19 health, and it goes back to our turn. If this was the physical version of the game, we would first untap all our cards, and then we'd draw a card. We've just drawn a forest, we're going to play that straight away. You can play it after your combat phase, and sometimes it's worth doing this. I mostly don't, because I'm not a big competitive player. I just play for fun. I make a lot of mistakes. I'm not the perfect player, but I know enough to teach you how to play. So we're going to cast our forest. So what we're going to do is tit for tat, we're going to attack. So that will leave me open. See, he can't block now because he's tapped, which means if it's physical card version, you rotate the card 90 degrees and then they're tapped. So that's the disadvantage of attacking, because it leaves you open to attack the next turn. Now obviously that's going to leave me open to attack the next turn, but it's only 1 damage, so I'm willing to take that. So we're going to attack with our little hedgehog guy, and bam, even Stevens. His turn now. He's drawn a mountain, he's played a Tin Street Cadet. He's played 2 Tin Street Cadets, and now he's attacking because we was open from the last attack. We took that damage. Now if you look at these cards, whenever this card becomes blocked, it will create a Ghoblin token creature. So we're going to have to, you know, keep our wits about us with these cards, because even if they're 1/1, they can create multiple cards, which can become problematic. It's our go now.
Keep with it.
We're going to play a forest, and now we can play our cat, our kitty cat. He's got trample, so any excess damage is dealt to our planeswalker. And when he enters the battlefield, I can put a 1/1 counter on target creature I control. Each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it has trample. He's already got trample, so he won't get extra trample. There's no such thing as extra trample, alright? But we can put a +1/+1 counter, which will make him a 2/2 creature. So we're going to do that. Boom. He's a 2/2 now. And now, obviously, he can't attack this turn, my cat, because he's got summoning sickness. He's been to the vets. He's just come back from the vets. He's wobbling around, stumbling into his food, as they do on those cute videos. So we could attack, and he could block and kill our bushwag. Our brushwag, sorry. Did I say bushwag before? I might have. We could attack with this creature, but he could use both of these to block, which would kill us. However, I would kill... I can't remember. Would that kill both of them? Because I could deal the damage between both? I can't remember. That's not a good look for the tutorial. But I wrote it into the tutorial, into the script, just to help you learn. And it will all make sense soon. But we're not going to attack, because I want to buff this guy up a bit further. It might not be the smartest move, because he's going to be able to get more chances in next turn to bring out more cards. However, I'm feeling lucky, so no attacks. Okay, he's brought out a Minotaur. Got no special effects or anything, but it's got 2/3. So we're going to play a forest. We're going to play another cat. And we could either bump this guy up to give him 3/3, or we can have a 3/2. I think obviously best 3/3. So that's what we're going to do. Now we're into the attack step. Again, the card we just cast has summoning sickness, can't attack. We're not going to attack because you could get defeated again. We're going to save this power for blocking, so we're not going to attack. Okay, he's got 6 creatures, I've got 3. We have enough to cast another creature though, and we can pick between this one and this one. Now, it's got less attack, but it's got more defense, and it's got vigilance, so it doesn't tap when it attacks. And when he enters the battlefield, we may get our Planeswalker card. So let's do that. Boosh. So now we search our library. Here he is, our Planeswalker card. So we'll take him out on a lovely, nice seafood dinner date. We're not going to attack. Well, are we going to attack? I don't know. Now this is the part of Magic that I still struggle with, knowing if I should attack or not. Let's do it. Let's do this attack with both my cats. Right, they're probably both going to die, but I'm hoping if you block with these ones, these guys are going to die, but obviously they're going to kill me because I've got 1 defense. This is the guy we need to worry about, so we'll probably block one of them, and then he will survive, but I'll die. And if he attacks with you, so yeah, let's do that.
Planes walk before you can planes run.
He's chose his blockers. We've taken 1 card away from him. He's taken 1 from us, and he's brought a new one out. We are going to block, because that will get rid of his card. He won't kill me. We don't have to worry about tapping our card, because it's our go next anyway. So we're going to block with that. He didn't attack with anything else. block, and we survive. Let's bring out a forest, and we can bring out a planeswalker now. Let's do that. And as soon as he comes out, we can activate one of his abilities. So as you can see, it says +1, -2, -7. If we +1, the number on the bottom right, which is his defense, will go up to 6. And we'd also get the effects of the one we've chosen. So if we go +1, we will reveal the top card of our library. If it's a creature, put it into our hand. Otherwise, put it on the bottom of our library. So we'll go +1. It's not a creature, it was one of these. So it goes on the bottom of our library. We didn't get the creature wanted, but we did get +1 to our defense. We're going to say no thanks, your turn. Right, before when I said that they can only attack your opponent, that's not entirely true. You can also attack planeswalker cards as well directly. We're going to block this and take away one of his cards. We could bring out 2 of these guys, so let's do that. Bam. Bam. So our side of the battlefield is looking a little bit better now. We're also going to activate one of our abilities. We could do -2. This says target creature we control deals damage equal to its power to another target creature. It's like a free attack that I get that they won't attack me back with it. It's like spell damage basically, not attack damage. I want to try this. So we're going to go -2. We're going to go like this, boom, 4 damage. I'm going to deal it to this guy here. That gets rid of him. And now I want to keep all my creatures, so we're going to pass to our opponent. I'll go again. We're going to bring... Oh, what's this instant we got? Target creature we control deals damage equal to its power to target. Ah, see, that's like the same thing we just did. So let's bring out our bushwag. I keep calling him a bushwag. He's called a brushwag. Sorry, I'm very sorry. I'm really sorry. And we're also going to do this. We could use it on our opponent's turn, but I'm just going to use it now and just get rid of... let's use this one. Get rid of this guy. And then we're also going to... Why not? Let's do this again. Choose anyone and get rid of this 2-1. Right, now onto our attack. Let's attack with this guy because he's not got enough to even defeat this guy. He could go... well, you know what? Let's just attack with all we've got. So he's going to lose some cards now. All of his cards, it looks like. The combat damage gets assigned. We've lost some cards there. But it doesn't matter because he's lost all his cards. Then we've got a forest. We'll put it out anyway. And then we're going to go to our combat step. Actually, let's see what else we got. We are going to actually activate this ability, which gives him 4/4 now. We're going to go all attack, 3 attackers, and now, bam, 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 he's dead, we win the game, GG. And that's a wrap, folks. That was my first complete Wazzock's guide. Hopefully you learnt something. The next Wazzock's video will probably be miniature painting. And after that, possibly World of Warcraft. We'll see. But anyway, if you liked the video, give it a like. If you'd like to subscribe to see more, subscribe to see more. I've been me, you've been you, and I'll see you on the next one.